when her message popped up. How are you? Feeling lonely? I was sitting alone in our living room, staring at the suitcase she insisted I shouldn't worry about. For months she had been drifting away, treating me like background noise while pouring her energy into her friends, her phone, and especially this trip she kept calling a well-deserved break. She left with excitement I hadn't seen in our marriage in months. Not even for me. So when she texted, I could feel the tone behind it. Not concern, not love, but a test. She wanted to hear I was miserable without her, that I was counting the hours until she returned. But I was done pretending everything was fine. My fingers hovered over the keyboard, and then I typed slowly, deliberately, I miss absolutely nothing. The moment I hit send, I knew the balance of our marriage had shifted forever. She didn't reply for a moment, and I imagined her smirk fading, replaced with confusion, maybe even irritation. Then the typing bubble appeared, vanished, returned, like she couldn't decide how to respond. Finally she wrote, "What's that supposed to mean?" I didn't explain. Instead, I opened the folder on my phone I had been quietly filling for weeks. Screenshots of her late-night conversations, hotel confirmation she forgot synced to our shared email, pictures from her friend's stories showing her with someone she claimed she barely talked to anymore. For so long I had convinced myself I was imagining it, that maybe I was insecure, maybe I was reading too much into things. But the truth had been staring me in the face. She wasn't losing interest in life. She was losing interest in me. So instead of answering her question, I simply sent her a message, check the next file. And then I uploaded the first set of screenshots. A few seconds later she exploded, "Why are you going through my things? This is crazy. You're acting paranoid." Her panic didn't come from innocence. It came from exposure. I sent the second batch of screenshots. The photo she tried to crop, where a man's reflection was visible behind her. Then the dinner receipt with 2 race, timestamped at 11:45 p.m. Then the hotel pool picture her friend posted where she thought sunglasses would hide everything. But reflections don't lie. Her typing suddenly stopped. No excuses, no sarcasm, nothing. So I decided to push the truth even closer to her face. I texted, "You can stop pretending. I know who you're really with." The moment she read it, she started calling me. I let it ring. Again. And again. And again. The sound filled the room like an alarm, one I had been ignoring for far too long. After 7 missed calls, she texted, "Please pick up. You don't understand." But I did understand. Too well. She wasn't panicking because she cared about me. She was panicking because her secrets were unraveling faster than she could control them. I sent her one more message. "Do you want me to show you what else I know?" Then I attached the hotel lobby camera screenshot I had received from an anonymous message a day earlier. Someone who recognized her, someone who knew me. It showed her standing too close to the man she insisted she had blocked months ago. Her reaction was immediate. "Where did you get this? Who is sending you these?" I didn't answer that either. Her fear was enough. Another call came through, this time longer, desperate. I finally texted, "Enjoy your trip while you still can." And that was the moment her world snapped. She replied instantly, "No, I'm coming home. Right now." The woman who left with a smile was suddenly frantic, terrified, scrambling to control a story she never thought I'd question. She admitted piece by piece that she had seen him by coincidence, that they just talked, that she didn't want to upset me. Every new message contradicted the last. I didn't argue. I didn't correct her. I let her bury herself in her own contradictions. Then she finally wrote, "Please don't leave me." The irony stung. She had left me emotionally long before this trip. She just never expected the door to swing both ways. While she scrambled to book an early flight, I spent the next hour packing her things, not out of anger, but out of clarity. Every folded shirt felt like closing a chapter. Every sealed box felt like reclaiming myself. She arrived home much earlier than expected, still in her travel clothes, hair messy, eyes swollen from crying. When she saw her bags packed neatly by the door, she froze like someone had unplugged her from reality. Why are my things packed?" she whispered. I didn't yell. I didn't accuse. I simply said, "Because everything you thought I didn't know, I knew." She sank onto the couch, shaking. "Please," she said, "just talk to me." But talking was what I had been begging for months. Talking was what she had avoided every time she turned her phone away, every time she smiled at messages she refused to explain. She looked around, noticing the emptiness, the calmness, and it hit her harder than any words ever could. This wasn't me threatening to leave. This was me already gone. She began explaining, fast, messy, emotional. She claimed she felt lost, that the trip got out of control, that she never meant for things to go so far. She tried to touch my hand, but I stepped back gently. "Don't," I said quietly. She broke. She covered her face, sobbing, collapsing under the weight of consequences she thought she'd never have to face. "We can fix this," she begged. "We can start over. I'll block him. I'll do anything you want." I shook my head. "You only want me now because you're scared of losing me, not because you love me." She cried harder, whispering, "That's not true. That's not true." But even she didn't sound convinced anymore. She finally understood that the version of me who begged for her attention was gone. After several minutes of silence, she asked in a small voice, "Is there any chance left?" The question hung in the air like smoke. I thought about the early years when we laughed easily, when we touched without hesitation, when trust wasn't something we had to barter for. But those memories felt like someone else's life. Distant, unreachable. "No," I finally said. "Not anymore." She nodded slowly, like the words had physically pushed her back. She wiped her tears mechanically, like she was trying to erase them before they gave away how deeply she was breaking. "I didn't think you'd ever leave," she whispered. I looked her in the eyes, the same eyes that once held my whole world, and replied, "That was your mistake." She stood up shakily, grabbed the handle of her suitcase, and walked toward the door. But before stepping out, she turned around one last time. Her face was pale, exhausted, stripped of all the confidence and carelessness she had left with days earlier. "I thought you would miss me," she said softly. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. The silence was my answer. She walked out, closing the door behind her with a quiet click, the sound of a marriage ending not with a fight, but with truth. I sat down on the couch, letting the calm wash over me. My phone buzzed minutes later, her last message, "I'm sorry." For the first time in months, I didn't feel anxious or angry. I felt free.